All right. Hey guys, this is Dallas again for my motivational minute. And I just want to do a quick little video about how to stop smoking. This may apply to some of you not, but if you know someone who needs to stop smoking, share this video with them. But anyway, I got my iPhone connected to my visor up here, and sometimes I look up and it makes me look cross-eyed. So anyway, I'll try not to look up and just drive down the road. I'm going to work now. But here you go. Then we're going to talk about the brain a little bit, so let me keep it real simple. All right, I like to keep things real simple so that I can explain, and then people can understand it a lot easier. All right, your brain's basically got two parts. There's a top part and a bottom part. And the top part of our brain is the real you. It's the part that wants to be a good father, good mother, good husband, wife, good citizen, grandparent, plans for your future, saves money for retirement, take your kids to Disney World, have happiness, joy, peace in your life. That's the real you, the top part of your brain. The bottom part of your brain is what we refer to as the midbrain. The midbrain is kind of the animalistic part of our brain. The midbrain keeps our heart beating, our lungs breathing, our eyes blinking, and it's just the midbrain is just created for survival. Well, in the midbrain, sorry, I had to see what the traffic light was there. In the midbrain, there's this little pump, and we all have one as a human being. This little pump is kind of like a thing you put in a baby's nose. I refer to it as a snot sucker, but it cleans the baby's nose out with. But in our midbrain, we all have this little pump, and again, it's technically not really a pump, but it looks like it. But anyway, this pump is full of chemicals. When God made our brain, He put all these chemicals in that pump. We call them neurotransmitters, but let's keep it simple. They're just chemicals, and these chemicals give us certain feelings. And some of you might remember this from school. Like one chemical is dopamine, and dopamine gives you the sense of pleasure, like when you eat good food or watch your favorite sports team win or catch a big bass, have sex, whatever, something gives you pleasure, dopamine's released. The other chemical is endorphins, and endorphins is a natural pain reliever. If you hit your finger with a hammer, it's going to cause pain, so your midbrain pump is going to release endorphins, trying to numb that pain as much as possible. The other one is serotonin, and serotonin is how we all go to sleep as a human being. Serotonin calms us down, helps us relax and go to sleep. The other one's GABA. GABA is an acronym for a big $50 word that I can't spell or pronounce, but GABA is a neurotransmitter that causes us, it's the anti-anxiety. In other words, it keeps us from going into anxiety attacks and panic attacks and that kind of thing. And then there's, epinephrine, which we know is adrenaline. And anyway, I'm not trying to give you a biology lesson here because I don't know that much about all this either. I just know the part that causes addiction. I just want you guys to understand that. And when you start talking about drug addiction, what happens is a person starts using drugs, no matter what it is. Alcohol, drugs, it doesn't matter. Alcohol is the #1 drug problem in America, except for nicotine. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. When you start abusing drugs, you start pumping out way too much of the natural chemicals that's in your brain. That's where you get high and drunk from, is those natural chemicals being rushed out in an unnatural amount. And what happens is that pump starts getting low, and it can't fill up back up to where it normally should be, the way God created it, because you're drinking and drugging and pumping out way too much. And it causes that pump to start getting low. And once that pump starts getting lower and lower and lower and lower, and then that's when a person starts developing addiction, a biological problem. So anyway, that's the little 1 minute about addiction. Now let's talk about nicotine. First thing a person needs to do is they need to accept the fact that they are addicted to a drug called nicotine. When a person is freebasing nicotine, aka smoking, you need to look at it like that. You need to really look at it. Some people can just quit cold turkey, and but a lot of people can't. And the reason they can't is because they've manipulated that pump in their brain to the point where it's a very strong biological addiction. So they may need some assistance. Now, make a real long story short, because I only got like 2 or 3 minutes here, maybe 4, is that whenever a person's freebasing nicotine, smoking, I say it that way to really get your attention because it is a drug and you probably are addicted to it. Okay? Let's say you just decide to quit smoking right now. You're going to have a withdrawal and cravings and everything, but what you're craving is the chemical that's being pumped out, not the nicotine. That's where people get mixed up. They think they're craving cigarettes. Well, when a person smokes cigarettes, it releases several chemicals, but mainly 2, endorphins and dopamine. Endorphins is a natural pain reliever, and dopamine, it gives you pleasure. Okay? So that's kind of what's going on. So if you quit smoking, you're going to start craving or having a withdrawal for dopamine and endorphins. Well, I've helped a lot of people quit smoking over the years. What you want to do is, when you quit smoking, then give it dopamine and endorphins. In other words, you got to cause healthy pain to yourself. Notice I didn't say unhealthy, but healthy pain to yourself so that your brain can release some endorphins and give it what it's wanting. And then the dopamine is pleasure. In other words, you got to go out and have some fun. You got to, whatever you like to do that causes fun and happiness and joy and excitement, you got to go do that. And you got to cause some pain to yourself. Sounds kind of weird, but you do. Now, how can you call it unhealthy pain? Healthy pain. You can do push-ups, you can do exercise, you can do those little things that you put in your hand like bodybuilders use to work on their forearm, you can get them at the retail stores for $5. What I suggest to people is use the little candies like hot tamales or atomic fireballs. Pop them in your mouth because it's going to cause a little pain because it's hot, which causes pain, releases endorphins. Okay, it'll curb your craving for 30 minutes or an hour or that kind of thing, because the first week or 2 is biology anyway. So pop those little hot tamales in there or atomic fireballs, cause some pain, release some endorphins. It numbs the craving, it reduces the craving for the next 2 or 3 minutes or an hour or 2. That's all you need to do is get past that physical, biological part, and then it's just habitual and habits and all that crazy stuff and psychology and social stuff. You don't want to hang around people that are smoking in that first week or 2. But just remember, the first week or 2 is biological, physical. So get them hot tamales, atomic fireballs, start exercising, causing some healthy pain to yourself to release those endorphins, and the cravings will go away, and a week or 2 or 3 you won't be smoking anymore. I've seen this work, I don't know, maybe even hundreds of times over the years. I hope this helps. This is my motivational minute, or maybe 5 minutes, on the way to work this morning. I hope you guys are getting something from these little sessions. I shouldn't call them sessions, but anyway, take care. See you later.